You arrive at your hotel, drop your bags, and pull out your laptop. Before you can even check your email, you have to click through a clunky captive portal login screen. Then you have to do it again for your phone, and then your tablet. This repetitive digital friction blocks your momentum. Every new location demands another round of authenticating devices just to get back to a basic working state. The standard workarounds have their own problems. You can fire up your phone's mobile hotspot, which will drain your battery in 2 hours. Or you can pay for individual software VPN subscriptions on every single device to make sure the open hotel network is actually safe to use. This chart maps out exactly what that trade-off looks like. Open airport Wi-Fi gives high convenience but extreme security risk. Phone hotspots and individual VPN apps offer high security but drag you into low convenience. The ideal high-security, high-convenience space remains completely empty. As a remote worker, you are forced to choose between killing your mobile battery, managing a spreadsheet of VPN subscriptions, or hoping nobody is intercepting your client's data. The TP-Link BE3600 travel router targets that exact gap. Retailing for $139, it acts as your private gateway to public internet. We need to determine if adding a dedicated travel router to your bag actually earns its spot in this top right quadrant. Physically, the footprint is minimal. With the antennas folded down, it is small enough to slide into a shorts pocket, meaning it barely registers in a standard travel backpack. But you still must ask if carrying an extra piece of plastic and spending that $139 is genuinely better than relying on the phone already in your hand. Since the local hotel or cafe network will always be your speed bottleneck, you buy this hardware to control your own digital environment rather than to unlock faster internet. This device allows you to create a portable network state. You configure your laptops, tablets, and phones to connect to the router once while you're sitting at home, and they never have to be reconnected on the road. When you get to your room, you plug the router in and authenticate it to the hotel's captive portal just one time through the Tether app. This diagram illustrates how that single authentication cascades. One setup step grants immediate access to your entire ecosystem. Your laptop, phone, tablet, and smartwatch are instantly online without touching another login screen. Over a 5-day multi-city business trip, bypassing those repetitive individual device logins saves measurable time and eliminates a steady source of friction. The trade-off is straightforward. You have to remember to pack an extra piece of gear, and you have to perform a minor 5-minute setup ritual every time you change locations. If you travel with 3 or more devices, this shifts the burden of internet connectivity from a daily chore to a simple one-time task. Working on open, untrusted public Wi-Fi networks in airports or cafes exposes your traffic to anyone else logged into that same network. To counter this, the BE3600 features a physical action button on the side. You can map this switch directly to a built-in VPN client. This gives you a massive technical advantage. Instead of installing, updating, and launching software VPN apps on every individual piece of hardware, the router manages the encryption layer for everything connected to it. You flip the physical switch, and a secure, encrypted tunnel instantly activates to protect your entire local network. That encryption overhead will slightly reduce your maximum download speeds. However, the peace of mind gained when handling sensitive corporate data on untrusted networks makes this a mandatory feature for touring professionals. The specifications here are aggressive. The BE3600 supports Wi-Fi 7 and includes a 2.5 gigabit WAN port on the back. For standard hotel internet, those specs are completely useless. Most hospitality networks rarely break 100 megabits per second. You will never saturate a 2.5 gigabit connection at an Airbnb. Those premium specs exist for a highly specific demographic: dedicated IT managers, corporate group trainers, and specialized event staff. This diagram shows how the hardware can manage massive local traffic. It can handle up to 90 individual devices transferring data directly to each other, completely isolated from outside internet sources. High local bandwidth allows a large team to seamlessly access local servers and securely share massive files in a temporary location. Solo tourists can safely ignore Wi-Fi 7. However, for a manager keeping an entire team's local devices synced and productive, that extra bandwidth becomes a functional necessity. TP-Link includes 3 different regional power adapters in the box, and the router can also run directly off a standard USB-C cable. Having those physical adapters included eliminates the friction of scrambling to find international converter blocks when you arrive in the UK or Asia. There is also a USB 3.0 port on the back built specifically for cellular modem tethering. Tethering a cellular modem completely removes your reliance on fixed-location internet infrastructure. You can literally generate a secure, high-speed local network right in the middle of a remote open field. These physical redundancies create a globally adaptable hub. Accommodating a slightly bulkier carrying case is a highly reasonable trade-off for achieving complete location independence. The BE3600 is a tool for maintaining a controlled environment amidst the chaos of travel. First, do you travel with 3 or more devices? No? Use your phone's hotspot. Yes? We continue. Second, handle sensitive data on open networks? Yes, keep moving down. Finally, deploy local networks for remote teams? A yes leads straight to a high return on investment. Casual tourists, weekend vacationers, and single-device travelers should save their $139. Digital nomads, remote recruiters, and mobile IT staff are the exact target audience. You shouldn't view that $139 as a standard consumer purchase. It is an equipment investment that yields a measurable return in daily time saved. This hardware provides the right professional with a secure, reliable baseline that remains consistent no matter where they plug in.